Okay, day 60, whatever, leg day. And again, we're back to our schedule. We're back to our regularly scheduled and located content back at the college gym. So, legs, same as usual. Blow up hamstrings first, then move on to quads. So, in terms of squats, I get a lot of, maybe not controversy, but a lot of questions about the heel elevated squats. So let's put myself in your shoes. You're a lifter. You squat, or at least you have squatted, and oh man, I always feel it in my lower back. Oof. It always just works my glutes. Like I don't feel my quads at all. Oh, I don't want to squat. Move on to a leg press or something stupid like that. Telling you, a lot of those issues could be fixed by elevating your heels on a plate, right? Because what's going to happen is it's going to let you put your knees further forward above your toes, and that action of being able to move your knees further forward is going to mean that you're not going to have to bend over so much. Forward, I mean. Because like when you see a power lifter squatting, or at least some of them, they often bend over a ton at the waist. So they're pretty much using just a ton of glutes and lower back. Now, if you want to move a bunch of weight, it's probably not going to hurt you. But if you want to build big legs, then you're going to want to squat as upright as possible, or upright as feasible, with a heavy ass amount of weight. So it's fucking 1 a.m. The gym should be dead. Perfect setup to get hype. So let's fucking get in there. Finally got a new jug. Happy with that. I was missing out on the tang. So, spent a little longer than normal warming up for hamstrings. The right one's just a little tight. Like kind of right down in here. But, I'm telling you, a lot of minor stuff that's bothering you. The more you do just warming up lightweight before you actually get into the real lift, it's probably gonna fucking alleviate it. At least a little. So let's just throw the stack around for a few sets. And fuck me, that's pretty much it for hamstrings. We'll throw in a few variations. I've said this kind of shit a few times, but you know, what's ultimately gonna affect your progress over time is not your exercise selection or your rep scheme or you know, anything of that variety. Like obviously that's gonna affect your growth. You know, you want to have an optimal workout, but before that you got to just know how to go fucking hard, right? Some schmo doing, I don't know, half energy going through the motions of like squats, leg press, hack squat, leg extension, sissy squats, like whatever. Very varied workout hitting all parts of the quads. He's not going to make more gains than the guy who just like, you know, almost passes out trying to do leg extensions for like an hour straight. Maybe. But you get what I'm saying. The intensity is key. Like before every set, you know, I don't care if you fuck off and like goof around with your boys in between. Like, you know, if any of my if any of my friends were in here, in between sets, I like goofing off with them, whatever, just shooting shit. But before your sets, you know, take maybe 10 seconds, put on his real serious face, maybe like grunt a little bit, and get hype. Because if you reach like just, you know, a base level of discomfort, at least in terms of like muscular fatigue in your set, and then you think to yourself, oh, that's good enough, whatever. What are you doing? Limiting your growth. So let's get back at it. So, mildly funkier movement. This would be some single leg curls on a leg extension. A little tricky of a setup because you gotta, like, think about it. When you do the seated hamstring curl, your knee is right in the middle of this little pivot point, right? That's what makes it feel good. But if you do this at a leg extension that you've got at your gym, odds are that that little pivot is going to be too high up. It's just going to feel like shit. So you got to stand on something. But if you can elevate your feet, works perfect. You know, just go light, really try to squeeze, you know, rather than just try to move a shit ton of weight. This is more so of like it's like a burning movement. So those single leg ones are good. You know, just a different kind of feeling. But 2 sets of hamstrings left. I think I'll just finish with 2 sets of single leg. No drop set or anything, just kind of straight sets. Still pretty heavy, like half the stack with one leg. That may as well be the whole fucking stack. Okay, maybe a little. Just barely lighter than half. All right, let's get ready for squats. All right, so before I squat, I always spend a few minutes on the leg extension. Not like doing actual sets or anything, but just to sort of, I don't know, warm my knees up really, rather than just jumping right into it. You're gonna want to warm up, you know, in solid increments, but don't actually make your warm-up sets, right? Like when I do, you know, 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates warming up, like I'll do a few reps, maybe like 2 or 3 max each, just because I want to expose myself to the weight, but I don't want to get fatigued, right? Once you've been, you know, properly warmed up, that first set is where you're going to be primed to move the most weight for the most amount of reps and do the most amount of damage, you know, quote unquote muscular damage, whatever. So, plus, I mean, I would attribute most of my strength gains to starting workouts like this. Like for chest, same thing, you know, on the first set of whatever pressing movement I do, dumbbells or barbell, I get warmed up, I get exposed to the weight, and that first set is where I'll progressively overload. And as I do more sets after, you know, I'll lighten the weight and just move on to different lifts. So let's fucking see how 2 plates feel. So one kind of post that I've been seeing a lot, like TikTok, Instagram style, short content, is like, it's real hype music, and the caption's like, you need to disappear for 6 months. flip the switch, start grinding. And it's like David Goggins running, or like Jocko Willink's doing some kind of Navy SEAL workout. Now, I mean, in theory, it would work. But that's just the wrong approach. That is like just a total wrong mentality for any sort of like, motivation to last over a long period of time, right? It's just so stupid to me. Like, just start going consistently, right? Learn a variety of information from all sorts of different like sources, like watch, whatever sort of educational lifting videos, or copied, people's workout styles, or ask big dudes in your gym for tips and stuff like that. You're not just gonna go from novice to like hardcore dedicated like that overnight. Like, this shit takes time to accumulate experience. So that sort of like intense fight your demons logic, like mindset, I don't know anybody who got big who actually like did that. That's like a weird brain, that's just some weird idea. Like, nobody does that, right? Just fucking improve over time. Because like, classic period to do this would be like New Year's Eve. I'm sure there were thousands of dudes who were like, you know what, this year, it's gonna be different. They get up, they go to the gym at 6. They do whatever workout. They do it again the next day. And then what? 1 week later, they're done. Whatever. That was stupid anyway. All right. Let's get real, goddammit. I was hoping for a few more reps. I was feeling pretty heavy. But your strength is going to fluctuate a little. As long as you go hard every workout, you will have a net gain. So let's throw in a little bit of single leg extensions, and then we can jump onto a little bit of a different pressing movement. So this is a little trick. I'll just break down the whole thing. If you got a similar leg extension to this one, and you go moderately heavy, you gotta fucking hold on, right? Or else you're just gonna flip yourself out of the seat. So I don't do it every time, but what I like doing is I'll put this big ass belt that the gym has behind the seat, and then when I sit down, you can lock yourself into position. So rather than focus on fucking, holding on for dear life, you can lean forward, just feel your leg. Just one less thing to worry about. So with both legs at once, this machine is a little light, but with the stack with one leg, especially after those squats, this shit's heavy. So thinking at least one of these, maybe two. I want to see how it feels. Yeah. Let's just do 2 sets of single leg again, and then throw in some sort of other variation. So I see a lot of self-depreciating fitness posts, which I do not relate to that. So when I see a post and it's like, it's just some guy talking about how hard he's lifting or whatever, and they say some shit like, I don't work out to look better. I work out because I hate how I look now. Like, what kind of motivation is that, It's just not, for one thing, it's not conducive in the long term. I say all sorts of this shit where I'm like, I'll just get into it in a second. But let's say your motivation for the gym is not, you know what, I want to look better. I want to build some more muscle. I want to lose some body fat. I want to just reach a good look, just good look. That's good. That's a very wholesome source of motivation. But if you think to yourself, God, I hate the way I look. Man, I look like shit. And then you go in and you're just so negative. And let's say you do manage to get, reasonably impressive looking over time. At what point is your mind going to flip from thinking, wow, I hate how I look, to, wow, I look pretty good? It's just not going to happen. Like, that's when you see all the posts about like body dysmorphia, where it's like, you've seen the little memes. It's like a really big dude flexing, and then like it's a drawing, and then him in the mirror is really small. Like, it's just so unfortunate. Now, it's not like I know the exact method to change your mindset on that, but like, the more negativity that you're thinking about, the more you're just gonna like exude and see around you. Right? Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Let's just get back to this fucking workout. Okay. I just finished off with 4 more of the leg extensions. 2 of my supersetted sissy squats. Let's see how pumped we're looking. Nothing. Fucking tie these. So out of all my lifts, legs is the one that's probably the most challenging. Same with anybody, just because, a legit leg day, or, hitting the legs hard, it's just gonna put you out of breath. Like, you can be huffing and puffing on arm day, but it's not the same. It is not even close to the same. God damn it, what the hell is this? That is way too many veins for a bulk. let's get some calves finished up and then some car talk. I'll be real with you, man. That pump kind of sucked. Not for lack of trying either. My diet has been off. I have been off point. Been fucking not eating enough. Probably about a week. I've been doing like 4,000 a day. Not ideal, considering I was doing 6 before. Got to get back on it. So I dropped down like fucking 4 pounds. I'm back in the 240s. What the fuck? It's all every time mid bulk. Like I hit one plateau, and then or not like a plateau, but like it just gets hard to eat. And then that just happens to be coupled with like me being busy with something else. And it's like a downward spiral. I gotta get back on the 6K a day. So in terms of eating a lot of food, probably my best tip and like method to actually getting it all in, it's just eating a lot as early in the day as possible. Like if you can just get up and eat a big ass breakfast, like 1,500 calories right then, that's gonna set you ahead of the game. And then lunch, 1,000 or whatever, like however you gotta spread it out throughout the day. But the more you can eat in the morning, the better. So I gotta get back on this 6K a day. Let's see, ideally if I can actually do it, then in about a week I'll be back up to the 250s again. Because when you're bulking up, and same thing when you're dieting down, your weight can fluctuate pretty drastically, just based on like the amount of carbs and water in your system. Now, I'm not saying like you get watery, or I'm not saying that like I get watery when I'm like full, but when you eat in like a really big surplus for, a continued amount of time, all your muscle bellies are going to be as full as possible, because all your muscle cells have this little, like they've got a little container of glycogen, that's like sugar, right? And water. So obviously the more food you're going to eat, all those little bits are going to be totally full. And, that's where that term comes from, like being full or being flat. Like if somebody says they look flat, it's because they haven't eaten enough carbs, they're depleted, so their muscles lose a little bit of size just from not being full of carbs. So let's say if somebody's about to do a bodybuilding show, right? To lose fat, they got to go to calorie deficit until they get lean as fuck. And then the day before the show or the day of, I've never competed, so I don't know like the exact protocol, but they eat a fuck ton of carbs, and then what that does is it fills up all their muscles, so they get that extra big look. But whatever. So I gotta get back on the fucking food. Awful. But training's still good. It's not like you need a day by day change in your weight. Like it's gonna bounce around, but it's all about the average over the long term. Like if you fuck up a day or like even a couple days like me, don't just fucking give up. Don't just be like, I can't do it or whatever. That's not gonna let you grow over time. You gotta just get back on it and then look back at your long-term average and it'll still be good. A little bit of fuck ups here and then, it's not gonna hurt you. But once you start making something a habit, like taking extra days off or skipping your cardio, lazy fucking asshole. I'm telling you, 30 minutes, not even hard. Like you do something. You either walk on the treadmill. I love the seated bike because all you do is you sit down, you pedal, and you get to play on your phone for 30 minutes. It's like by the time I like all I do is sit there, scroll TikTok, whatever, like just consume bullshit, and then I look up, oh, it's been 30 minutes, boom. Not hard, but like I was saying, it's not so important to have a perfect day every single day. The closer you can get to that, the better, obviously. But it's all about your long-term average. So as long as you're trying to, approximate yourself to there, right? Like let's say if you're bulking up and you have a day where you miss a bunch of meals, just get back on it the next day. Or if you're trying to diet down and you gotta you do a big ass cheat day, like you just eat everything in sight, you've had enough of the diet. You're not totally boned, right? But you gotta chill out, right? You can't just keep doing that, or else you're not gonna make results. In the long term of any training block, uh, bodybuilding being either bulking up or dieting down, it's just all about the average over that whole time period. So try not to forget your overarching goal when you open up the refrigerator, or no, when you open up the freezer and you tell yourself you're just going to have one scoop of ice cream. I'm just going to have one spoonful. Are you serious? You're going to have one? Nobody does one. If you've ever tried dieting, you know what I'm talking about. So, if you know how to implement a cheat day effectively, maybe you got to throw it in. But I'll get into more of the dieting when I'm actually dieting, uh, because I swear I've got a lot of little tips and tricks, especially for low calorie foods, like low calorie density stuff. Because I see a lot of people where their first instinct when they're trying to lose weight is to eat stereotypically healthy foods and to just like starve themselves, right? Like if you ever hear somebody go on a diet and they're not like educated on the topic, what are you going to see them do? They're going to eat a bunch of salads. Uh, Maybe they'll get like, man, I don't even know what the fuck they do. Eat a bunch of salad, maybe eat some grilled chicken, uh, go to bed hungry, and then after like 3 days they just give up. You got to be able to find foods that are going to keep you full, right? That have a lot of volume, but not a lot of calories. So I've got no problem with like zero sugar, like diet sodas. Kind of a controversial subject to a lot of health nuts. I'm drinking liters of diet soda in like a day, and I'm still kicking. Haven't noticed any adverse effects. So, you know, look for super lean beef, sugar-free barbecue sauce, fat-free shredded cheese. That is a crazy hack. You put that on anything, awesome. You gotta look up keto bread, keto tortillas, made of all sorts of like insoluble fiber. Because you can have a whole ass like a standard hamburger bun, and instead of 40 grams of carbs, it's like 5, and the rest is just insoluble fiber, which does not count as carbs. I've heard a lot of people, like when I talk to them about this kind of stuff, they'll tell me, "Oh, like, yeah, keto bread's bullshit. Whatever." Like, do you know what an insoluble fiber is? Do you know what that is? When you look on the little nutrition facts box and it says total carbs, let's say it says 30, and then you look at the little subtext and it says insoluble fiber, 25 grams. That means that 25 grams of those like quote unquote carbs are not going to be digested. So you're just taking it in and it's just going to pass right through you, not giving you any extra energy. Whatever. It'll be easier for you to get when I'm actually like showing you this kind of shit. So, until then, I can keep an eye out for the next few videos when I tell you I'm back over 250. 260 is still the goal. This bulk, ideally, is not going to end until I step on the scale in the morning after, doing my business and weighing 260. So, not going to let anything stop me. So I'm going to go to bed, Well, I'm going to get my vitamins going, eat a little bit more food, hit my goddamn 6K cals, and take my vitamins. Did I already say that? And then cardio in the morning. So, good fucking night. God damn it. I'll see you for the lift tomorrow.